Special shout out to the UGA baseball team, man. Our AD went and really wanted to put Georgia baseball back into a space where we were respecting the SEC. The SEC in baseball is massive. So many good teams, whether it's Vandy, Mississippi State, Florida, Tennessee, a lot of quality teams. But when they went and got Wes Johnson from LSU back in 2023, he was a successful pitching coach over there. A lot of people know MLB pitcher Paul Skeens, who is killing it, and his girlfriend Livy Dunn in the majors. But since he's come here, Georgia has just taken that next step, and they have been killing it all year. And I'm excited to see them in postseason play this year, going to Omaha and whatnot. Really excited to watch all that. So a lot of success for baseball. And then on the professional level in Georgia, if you are a fan of baseball, you are loving living in Georgia right now, because on one hand, you've got the Georgia Bulldogs killing it, but you also have the Atlanta Braves dominating baseball right now. And we would be remiss if we didn't take a second to shout out the passing of Bobby Cox, who passed away on May 9th. Legend and absolute Hall of Famer in Major League Baseball. Most known for his verbal abuse of all umps and referees. He actually is the all-time leader in ejections in the Major League Baseball and was a part of leading the Braves to the 1995 World Championship. All Braves fans know him and love him. And Keegan, it's actually pretty funny. Low-key, fun fact, in college, I had a little spurt where I was getting tossed out of Athens bars pretty regularly. So I got the nickname Bobby Cox for my ejections back in college. So he will always have a fond place in my heart, obviously as a Braves fan as well. Just really put Atlanta in a really competitive spot, winning the division however many times in that 95 championship. So RIP to the GOAT, man.
Yeah, and it's the craziest thing is, and I know you know this, but Ted Turner passing right before that. So it's you got two big-time Georgia sports legends. I mean, Ted Turner owned, I think he owned the Thrashers, the Hawks, and the Braves at maybe all at the same time at one point for a short stint, but longtime owner of the Braves, who once was the manager, really just an icon and what he did for the sport. And then to me, I think one of the coolest things in learning more about Bobby Cox, because I'm going to be dead ass honest, I'm a fair weather Atlanta Braves fan. I will not shy away from the fact, but I was not a fair weather Braves fan to start, and I grew up maybe 14, 15 years straight. All those division titles we won, I really paid attention during the Bobby Cox years. So Bobby Cox was a big part of my childhood, and a funny quip for my personal relationship with Bobby Cox is in my friend group, we also have a Bobby Cox inside joke, not for bar ejections, but my dad would get so mad when pitchers were struggling in Braves games and Bobby Cox would not pull the trigger and take them out. And a famous line that has been repeated millions of times by my friends who knew me at least growing up was, "Leave him in, Bobby, leave him in," because my dad would be yelling that. We'd be upstairs, probably playing the first Halo or something, and then from the from the basement below, we'd hear, "Leave him in, Bobby," and I was like, oh gosh, I guess the Braves are struggling because we got some "leave him in, Bobby." So I was texting my friends that, and we were kind of laughing about that. But he affected a lot of people in a lot of different ways, and I thought one of the coolest things, anytime someone passes, you hear a lot of the tales and people coming out. Actually, a buddy of mine told me this story. John Smoltz got invited to go play at Augusta National with Tiger Woods when he was a pitcher for the Braves. And it was during, I don't know if it was a busy week or playoffs or what, but basically they didn't have a lot of time. And he went and asked Bobby Cox if he could do it. And he's like, "Tiger Woods, huh? Augusta National." He's like, "Well, you can't turn that down." And John Smoltz went and he played golf with Tiger Woods at Augusta National. But he said after that moment, he said he would never play for anyone else because a lot of times in baseball, they're not so cool. And Bobby Cox loved his players and really just left a lasting impact on Georgia sports as a whole. In the same way I remember Mark Richt coming and speaking to my church when I was a kid, Bobby Cox made the rounds, really invested in the farm league level. I mean, he was scouting kids at the age of 13, right? So we know now the Braves organization is the most elite farm product probably in all of baseball. A major reason for that is Bobby Cox's investment in the sport. Lake Point Sports in North Georgia got founded in big part by Bobby Cox himself. He was saying, hey, look, Georgia can be a destination for baseball too. We don't have to go to Disney World to play these highfalutin tournaments. We can have it in North Georgia. So time in, time out, during his time as a Braves manager, after his retirement, he really just poured into Georgia sports. And as much as I love him as a Brave, I love him maybe as a Georgian even more because he was just that about it.
And I really, really wish he was still here to see what the Braves are doing right now, leading the majors with a 30-13 record. They just beat the Chicago Cubs 4-1 in Atlanta, beat the Dodgers in LA, 2 of 3 wins in the series. And check this out. The Braves currently lead the majors in batting average, runs, hits, slugging, ERA, runs against, and opponent's batting average. They are absolutely crushing it right now. We'll see how long this lasts. Usually with the Braves, the bats, we're no strangers to a lot of offense, but the pitching and the defense is usually our weak link, and to see them really taking steps in that area is really good. It's really early in the season, but if they can continue this and really hone in on that craft, we could have a lot of postseason success, even with the Dodgers doing what the Dodgers are doing. So, yeah, looking great for the Braves. Wish you could be here to see it.
Yeah, Cheeto, remind me the pitcher that is killing it right now with a super low ERA. All of them? It's like all of them. Well, there's one in particular. Like I said, I'm a fair-weather Braves fan, but I did read this little tidbit that Greg Maddux, who was relevant when I was paying all the way attention, is mentoring or has a... He's mentoring some Braves pitcher right now and teaching him his sinker, his slider. But it was like a whole thing. I thought that was cool. And it really just ties into the fact that the Braves organization has a lot of legacy in it. Way more than the Atlanta Hawks, way more than the Atlanta Falcons. There's a lot of family, generational passing of the baton from Bobby Cox to other managers to now even Greg Maddux helping out pitchers, teaching them their secret pitches and whatnot.